Hey, what's going on? This is the Confidence Magnet here with another great video. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to build better relationships with anyone. And when I say anyone, I'm talking about it could be a family member, it could be a business relationship, it could be a romantic relationship, it could be even a stranger that you're trying to get to know. So, without further ado, let's get on with the video. A relationship must be built off of a foundation of respect. It doesn't matter if the relationship is through a friendship, family, or marriage. Respect should be at the base. If you try to make being liked or loved the base, this can cause betrayal and confusion if things go wrong. And things will go wrong, trust me. So you want to make sure that at the base, respect is there and that they're not breaking that respect barrier. So you want to say, okay, these are my rules. And if you have any rules, let's see what your rules are. If we can go by each other's rules, we can have a good relationship. If we can't go by each other's rules, then we have to either come to an agreement or just part ways. But respect should be at the base. Focus your efforts on being understanding and understood. Most people want to rant and talk about themselves whenever they get a chance, not worrying about or caring about the other person's point of view. When you focus on communication by listening and speaking your mind, the relationship gets stronger. So what I mean by this is you can have a time where you need to listen more than speak, and you're going to have a time where you need to communicate your point of view instead of listening to everyone else's point of view to get your agenda met. So when you're in a relationship, you want to have your agenda met. And you want the other person to present their agenda so you can see if you can meet on common ground. So being understanding and understood, they go hand in hand, and you shouldn't leave one out for the other. You must contribute going into any relationship. Looks and charm gets your foot in the door. What you bring to the table is what keeps you in the home. If you take from a relationship without giving, you are what's known as a parasite, a leech, or a more common term, a mooch. So when you go into a relationship, it's not about what they can do for you all the time. Sometimes you got to say, okay, how can I contribute to this group or to this person so I can get what I want? So it's always a give and take in a relationship. It's not always about give, or take. Meaning that a lot of times you're not supposed to always be the person giving. If you're always the person that's giving, then you're going to get tired of this person. And pretty soon that can cause a conflict between the relationship that both of you have. If it's a group or if it's an individual. Know when you're being used. There are people who get used and abused, and they actually defend the person doing the using and abusing. This is because the person doesn't understand the dynamic in the relationship and the role they play in that relationship. Don't let people use you to meet their agenda and toss you out like garbage when they're done with you. So in any relationship, you don't want to, like I said earlier, you don't want to go in there trying to be liked or loved. You want to go in there saying, okay, I got to establish respect from day one. If I'm not being respected, then this relationship will not work. So let me establish respect first. Once the respect is established, then you say, okay, in this relationship, am I being used? If you're being used, then you say, okay, let me put an end to that. Once you put an end to that, you decide if this person or this group of people wants to deal with you if you're not going to tolerate being used. If they're not going to tolerate that, or if they're going to feel offended because you're standing up for yourself or not letting them use you and abuse you, then this isn't the relationship for you. Or you may need to let it be known clearly what you expect from a relationship or what you can bring to the table in the relationship. So don't let people use you in any relationship. Demand more from others. When people are in a relationship with you, enjoying the ride, make sure they're paying for gas too. When you expect more from people, they'll feel like they need to prove themselves to you to get what they want. Looking pretty and saying a few speeches gets old real fast when things need to be done in your favor. So this can go for anyone and in any situation. If someone is giving you the bare minimum and they're acting like they're giving you the world, then you got to say, okay, that's not good enough. You got to give me more. And this isn't you trying to use anyone. It's you saying, okay, how much more can you contribute to this relationship? Don't try to pull out apple juice from an apple. Don't try to pull out a carton of apple juice from an apple. Just try to get what you can from them. And if they can't meet that agenda, try to get it from someone else. It doesn't mean that you have to abandon this person if you can't have your demands met. You just got to go with someone else. Maybe someone else is better for the job. So don't waste your time with the wrong people trying to get something done that can be done by someone who's more qualified. Be fair. A relationship should not be one-sided. If you're not fair with people, they'll get tired of you real quick. If you can't win with people, soon they'll get tired of you and won't have a problem abandoning the relationship. So what I mean by that is, if you try to get everything on your side, if you're like, gimme, 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 and this person is like, okay, you're asking for too much and you're not contributing, when are you going to contribute to us? And you get upset. You go, well, it's not about that. You got to help me. You're supposed to be my friend. Then you're not being a good friend and you're ruining your relationship. So you want to make sure that it's a give and it's a take, like I mentioned earlier. If you're doing something and you expect someone to let you slide, but you don't let that person slide, that's being one-sided. If it's if you're creating a double standard, then this person's gonna get tired and they say, well, this is double standard. Some things, they're double standard because that's the dynamic that certain roles play. But if it's something that can be done fairly, and if it's something that's not going to ruin a relationship by being done fairly, then you need to check yourself and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? Make time with people, but don't sweat people. Sometimes missing people feels good when you see them again. At the same time, you don't want to let too much time pass between one another. Spending time with people lets them know you still care. So, if it's a relative, if it's a friend, if it's a significant other, if it's your spouse, you want to make sure that you're spending the right amount of time with them without spending too much time with them. Because sometimes there's an old saying that familiarity breeds contempt. So you don't want people to get tired of you because they're seeing too much of you. Select the right people. There's a saying that you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. Make the right choice when you make friends, business partners, life partners, and in some cases, enemies. Sometimes even choosing the wrong enemy can actually make your life a living hell. So if you're going to choose the right people, make sure that they are going and helping you get your agenda met. And along the ride, make sure that you're able to help them get their agenda met. So you can have a long-lasting relationship that benefits both of you. Mutual benefit. Have a good sense of humor. Making people laugh and being able to laugh at yourself from time to time makes people feel good. With that being said, be funny without being a joke. Sometimes people, they're always trying to make people laugh. You got the class clowns. You got the people who are dickish for no reason because they want to get other people to laugh. So what I say to this is have a good balance between being funny and being the class clown. When you step your game up, you can improve your relationship by being a bigger asset and also letting people who are liabilities go. So you want to have the right people in your circle, and you want to be in the right circle so you can be an asset to that circle. And by being an asset is by you stepping your game up. Right now, by me presenting these videos to you, by helping you improve your life, I feel that I'm being a bigger asset, and in return, you can be part of my circle by subscribing to this channel. So, with that being said, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter. You can join the mailing list where you get my free ebook, The Confidence Skyscraper, where I show you how to build a solid foundation of real confidence. Links are in the description box. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to today's video. Stay tuned for the next video. Peace.